Welcome, awesome people! Palworld has had an update. We are now on patch version 0.1.4.0, a patch that fixes a bunch of game-breaking things while, of course, not touching others. There are some tweaks. Let's go through the patch notes because, who actually reads them? So here you can watch them. Let's first look at the major fixes. They have fixed an issue where the game would crash under certain conditions. Unfortunately, they didn't tell exactly what. One of the very big problems that apparently I didn't know about was that they fixed where you could capture someone else's PAL if it was damaged enough. Ouch, really bad. And we'll actually see a little bit more of that further down. Also, PALs could get stuck in the walls when they were attacking. They have also implemented a fix for an issue where the game would always crash and save data would be corrupted when you had too many PALs in a guild. This was obviously not a problem for single players most of the time, but if you're playing a multiplayer with a bunch of people, you could be capturing and getting a lot of PALs. More than 7,000, everything would be corrupted, and they really have fixed that. Unfortunately, this does not apply for already currently corrupted data, only for the future. That's a big problem, so if you have this, I don't know if you can recover. This by itself will only fix it going forward. They've added extra support for mouse side keys and numeric keypads, nice, and hopefully they keep on doing this because you do want to be able to better customize a lot of aspects of the game. A number of player issues, such as fixing the dedicated servers and co-op where you would be receiving double damage. A really nice one is that regardless of how much you are carrying, the weight limit, you can still move. I do think that you are moving a little bit too fast, and I think that there should be a cutoff because you could be carrying 50,000 tons and you can still move fairly fast. Players will no longer pass through walls when dismounting goods, so you can't glitch into someone else's base, and they have fixed the issue where your capture power strengthened by the Lift Monk effigies was not just reset when you use those memory reset drugs for the technology points, but actually would permanently nerf it. So this has been fixed. Also, armor could be equipped in the wrong slot. Ouch, I haven't seen that, but of course we don't want to have that. Wearing a helmet on your crotch, maybe not so comfortable. Adjusted the camera position of several PALs to make it easier to see when mounted. Some of them are really big, so this is a good fix. I wish they would pull it out a little bit further back because it's still really close sometimes. As everyone knows, there are a bunch of issues in the bases. The first one is they have changed so that the PALs that are manually assigned to the breeding farm will not become hungry and get removed from their manual assignment. We also have a change for when you're lifting up the PALs, it's no longer going to be F, it's going to be V. I think this is a little bit more convenient, so you don't end up carrying them and throwing them as just because you're trying to interact with something else. That happens all the time. They've reduced the speed and range of the fire spreading on wooden building. Again, a necessary change. You had issues where you would be attacked by a raid party. You see something being set on fire and your whole base would just burn down, which was really, really bad. They fixed an issue where the manual work assignment wouldn't work, and I've seen that happen myself. I would throw them to get them to sign. It just wouldn't work until you do it a few times. Next one, to fix an issue with an extremely high level Relaxosaurus would attack the base during raids. Haven't had that one, fortunately. Added several measures to prevent base PALs from getting stuck. This has been an issue, and you'll see that for the next one, they would get stuck while transporting items. They would continue to cut down trees where they were already cut. They would be on the verge of death due to unexplained falling damage. They would float under some conditions, and they wouldn't be able to work underneath the farm. There are a bunch of AI pathing issues that still are in the game where the PALs do not deploy or they get stuck and everyone gets hungry, they get depressed, they get leg breaks and fractures and everything, and there's still some things that they do have to work on. It will be incremental because it's not that easy for them to revamp the whole AI and fix all the pathing issues, etc. Because right now, most of my PALs in my multiplayer base, or multiplayer server base rather, they are depressed or have breakage or weaknesses, etc. because something broke with their pathing and they couldn't go eat or couldn't go rest or something. Others is that they corrected the incorrect text. Good. If it was correct, then you would need to correct it. Measures have been added to prevent cheating and stealing other players' PALs. They mentioned about that. Maybe there were more edge cases where you could actually steal someone else's PALs. And of course, minor fixes and addition of a UI key guide. And they will be continuing to fixing things. One thing I would really love to see is they would fix the memory leakage on servers. My server, like many servers, are continually growing in RAM usage, and then eventually it just crashes or gets rebooted because I've seen it up at 18, 19 gigabyte of RAM, which is crazy for a game that should take less than half of that. So please work on the memory leaks and get that fixed. So what issues do you see in the game that you would like them to fix? Why not comment below and discuss? And of course, make sure you hit that like button and subscribing. See you next time, pal.